Gastroenteritis, commonly referred to as gastro, is categorized by infection and inflammation of the digestive tract. It is typically triggered by viruses, bacteria, or parasites, manifesting with symptoms such as vomiting, diarrhea, stomach pain, and nausea. General medical practitioner Dr. Francis Martin emphasized the highly contagious nature of the illness, primarily transmitted through the fecal oral route.
This time of the year, it is quite possible that bacteria might be one of the causes because it's very dry and contamination can take place in terms of water storage, and that can cause persons to have those type of gastroenteritis. The cause is really from contamination, anal to mouth contamination. So, for example, if persons don't do practice proper hygiene, they might be able to contaminate an area, and you get it. So it could happen through food as well. So those are generally what happens, and how people can get gastro.
Coming into contact with vomit from an infected person can also spread the virus. Addressing preventative measures, Dr. Martin stressed the importance of regular hand washing with soap and water, especially after restroom use, before meals, and after touching potentially contaminated surfaces like doorknobs and toys.
Try to be as hygienic as you can. We know people have to store water and so on, but be careful of where you're storing the water and what temperature you store the water at. As much as possible, if you can use water from the commercial areas, usually these waters are very safe. But locally, you can also boil water, and that way you get to keep the water nice and safe. Again, with daycares and toddlers, it's difficult. The operators have to try their best to see how they can keep around the place clean. It may not be possible to completely eliminate it, but just try your best to keep it clean.
Although gastroenteritis often resolves within a few days, maintaining hydration is crucial to prevent complications. Dr. Martin outlined the key steps for individuals dealing with the illness.
If anyone gets a gastroenteritis, the first thing they do is avoid eating for 24 hours. Starve yourself for 24 hours. Because most likely it's a toxin that's in your intestine and your body just trying to get rid of it. So let the body do that. So no eating of food and bread and milk and all kind of thing. None of that for 24 hours. All you do, you replace the fluid that you're losing. And the fluid you replace it with is clear fluid. The second most important thing is how much do you replace? And you replace by taking sip by sip. If you take a glass and drink, or a box of juice and drink, that can irritate the stomach and cause even more vomiting and diarrhea. So you just need to take sip by sip. And usually if you do this within 24 hours, you would get over the gastroenteritis.
If symptoms persist beyond 48 hours with signs of blood or mucus in your stool, or if you feel significantly unwell, it's essential to seek medical attention promptly.
Check the doctor if after 24 hours of practicing what I've just said, if you still have the gastroenteritis in the same way, then you check the doctor. Of course, everything is not set in stone. So if you find that the child or the person is extremely unwell, don't wait for the 24 hours, because depending on how severe the gastro is, you can have something called electrolyte imbalance, where your minerals and your electrolytes in your body start becoming imbalanced, and in that case you actually need IV drips or intravenous to replace the electrolytes that you're using.
Individuals with suspected or confirmed gastro cases are advised to avoid communal areas such as dining spaces, gyms, or social settings. These precautionary measures aim to contain the spread of the illness and minimize the risk of further transmission to unaffected individuals. Rena Thomas, GBN News.